Hey, it's Vicky and I'm back with a reading vlog for you guys. In this reading vlog, I'm starting it here in my little library, my little home library, but I'm gonna be spending the majority of this vlog in my kitchen because I had this idea, and it was actually an idea that I had that I'd wanted to do originally back in December. And I don't know why I thought that I would have the time or energy to do a vlog like this around Christmas time. So I basically like pushed it back to now. But basically the idea is I got this book, it's a cozy mystery, and it's one of those cozy mysteries that centers around, well, I think most cozy mysteries centered around food. I'm not super familiar with cozy mysteries, but I picked this book up quite a few months ago with the intent of doing this for a vlog. And most of, from what I gather, most cozy mysteries centered around food. This one is no exception. It has like 7 or 8 recipes in it. And so my idea was that I would read this cozy mystery because, like I said, I'm fairly new to the genre. I don't think I've read very many cozy mysteries. But when I came across a recipe, because they're sort of scattered throughout the book, I would make the recipe. And the book is Blueberry Muffin Murder by Joanne Fluke, and this is a series that has like a ton of books in it, but this is one, like I said, I picked it up at a library sale and I thought, oh my gosh, that'd be such a cute idea for a vlog, to read a cozy mystery and make the recipes as I go. And like as I go, I'm reviewing the book, but I'm also baking or cooking or whatever. The majority of the recipes in here are baked goods. So I don't know, it was just an idea that I thought would be kind of fun to do, especially this time of year. We're post-holiday. There's not a whole lot going on in January and February. The winter time, like post-Christmas winter time in the Midwest, is pretty boring. And so I thought this would be like a fun thing to do. So yeah, I'm gonna read this book and do some baking. So the book the whole series centers around a woman named Hannah Swenson. And she owns a bake shop and solves mysteries. So this one in particular, there is like a winter carnival going on in her town, and she's baking like all the baked goods for the winter carnival. And there's this like celebrity chef or something that shows up to be like part of the carnival or something. And this person is not very nice or something like that. And then that person gets murdered. And I think is found in her bake shop maybe? So then she has to like solve the mystery, clear her name, all that good stuff. It sounds cozy, it sounds fun. The recipes sound really good to give you like a little bit of a, to give you like a little taste of like what kind of stuff is in here. We have, let me see, I have to find it, give me a second. We have things like, obviously blueberry muffins, because it is called Blueberry Muffin Murder. So there's a blueberry muffin recipe in here. There is some short stack cookies, there's chocolate delights. The only like sweet baked item, cooked item in here are grilled cream cheese sandwiches, which I can honestly say I've never had, never thought to have, but I'm gonna try them in this vlog. So yeah, it should be a fun time. I'm excited to try this series out because, like I said, there's a ton in this series. So like if I like this, it's something I could definitely like dive into any time of year really, because I think she has ones that are, set at different times of year. It just so happens that this one is set at the winter time. So yeah, I have made on my phone my grocery list for all the recipes because there's a lot of butter needed for these recipes. So I'm gonna go like clean my grocery store out of butter. And then there's a few other things, like I know I'm running kind of low on flour, eggs, and I think I need to get some more vanilla extract. And then like a couple extra things like that I need for some of the mix-ins that I don't normally keep in my pantry, I need to get. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. When I get to the first recipe, I will do a check-in with you guys and we will make the first item. All right, so we have hit the first recipe on page 27. So pretty quickly into the book, we hit the first recipe, and it is for, it sounds really yummy, it's for peanut butter melts. And what's really cute about that is right at the end of chapter 2, which was where you hit the recipe, she mentions that the mayor of her town, that's like his favorite cookie or whatever. So it kind of ties into the story, which I think is really fun. So I took pictures of the recipe so that I don't have to try to like hold it open with like, cause it's a mass market paperback, so it doesn't like flap open very easily. So I'm gonna try to do this while also talking. So I really need to make sure I'm doing things right. But so far it's really cute. It takes place in Minnesota, so the Midwest. So right off the bat, I really like the setting because I live in Michigan, so we have like similar seasons. And it's funny because like, oops, geez, because I just mentioned it when I was talking about like how Michigan winters after Christmas are pretty boring. And that's kind of what they say in this book, that like they're putting on this winter carnival in town because by like mid-February, like everybody's just bummed out because it's cold and snowy and there's nothing to do. So I just thought that was kind of fun because I'm like, yeah, that's exactly how it is in the Midwest. So, and then you meet Hannah, and she, like I said, owns a bake shop, and she's like preparing for the winter carnival. And I like her so far. Like, she has a cat named Moishi, I think is how you say it, Moishi, I'm not sure. But like, super cute. And you kind of just get like the cozy vibes at the beginning of the book because it's like a cold winter day. She's getting up really early in the morning to go into the bake shop, and you know, it's freezing, and like she's like drinking her coffee and stuff. So it just has like a lot of like cozy vibes. And the recipe calls for molasses, but I don't have molasses, and I didn't feel like buying a thing of molasses just for this recipe. So I'm just using maple syrup. So hopefully that works. Hopefully they're interchangeable. I feel like they should be. Stir until blended. Okay. I need a spoon. So yeah, all in all, I think it's a cute story so far. I don't really have any complaints. This is like the perfect time of year to read this book. I think it was like just perfect timing. So yeah, all in all, I think it's gonna be a nice read. And we haven't really, we're only 25 pages in, roughly. So it's not like you've met a ton of like secondary characters, or even like the main sort of like plot is still kind of being introduced and stuff. But yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a nice cozy story. So I am gonna keep making these cookies. And when I hit the next recipe, which I'm not even sure when that is or what the recipe is, but I will check back in with you guys. So we have reached recipe 2 in the book, and it is for blueberry muffins, and it was about 50 pages. So we're at the point in the book now where the celebrity chef that's coming to the winter carnival has been introduced, and yeah, she's pretty terrible. She's just very selfish. She wants everything to, like, the whole thing to be about her, and like she's so above everybody there. So yeah, she's definitely painted as a character that is not likable. And so I feel like when she dies at some point in the book, you're not really sad about it because she's not a nice human. So yeah, we're making blueberry muffins. What is interesting about this recipe that I've never heard of in a blueberry muffin recipe is that you add blueberry pie filling into the batter. And so it makes it, I imagine it's gonna make the batter look like that purpley, like reddish bluish color. I don't know. And it's funny because in the book, she talks about before you know, get the recipe, she mentions her recipe and how it has this additional ingredient. So I wanted to do this on camera so you guys could see like what it's gonna look like. And then what's cool is like, cause you know, you're opening a whole can of filling. What she said she does with this is she takes like measures it out in 1/2 cup increments because that's how much you need for the recipe, and you just freeze it, and then later down the line when you want to make more muffins you already have your filling. So I'm gonna put it in and see what it does. I'm very curious to see what it's gonna look like. But yeah, the book is going really good. I really love, oh my gosh, that looks so pretty. I really love the setting. It's just like a small town, small Midwestern town, which is kind of like where I live, honestly. My town is not very big. And their town in particular is like a tourist spot, like in the summer months. People come there for like fishing and boating and stuff like that. But then in the fall and winter, by like Halloween, all of the tourists are gone and then it's just the locals. And I just feel like there's a lot of towns like that. The town that my dad grew up in the UP in Michigan, is definitely like that. It's pretty dead. I mean, I guess in the winter months they have like snowmobilers and stuff come in and some ice fishers, but otherwise, it's definitely like a summer spot. Okay, so now that I've mixed it, it looks kind of yuck. It looks kind of gross. Like it's kind of, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick up the color, but it's almost like, it's like gray. So it's actually, it's not very pretty, but that's interesting. I feel like it's gonna give it like a lot more blueberry flavor. And then I have to fold in my frozen blueberries now. So it's gonna be very blueberry-y. So yeah, the peanut butter cookies were a hit. I happen to love peanut butter cookies. I love peanut butter anything. So, and it made a lot though, like probably too many that for what we need in this house right now. So I'm gonna see one of my best friends today, and I'm gonna take her like a little Tupperware full for her and her husband and her baby. Well, I don't know if her baby will eat them because she's only like 9 months old, but anyway. So I will be getting rid of some of the cookies, but yeah, the book is going good and the baking's going good. I'm thinking about like, as I go, like ranking the recipes to see like which one ends up being my favorite. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to get these in the muffin tin, which is right here. Whoops, and I just lost some of my papers. And I'll check in with you guys later. All right, we have to taste test the blueberry muffins. I put this like crumbly topping on the top before I baked it. That sounds really interesting. So, oh my gosh, I can't even get the peel off. What the heck? All right, the moment of truth. This is a very flattering angle, by the way. Okay, I sort of annihilated the muffin, but whatever. It's interesting how I put that the pie filling in there, but it didn't really change the color in the end. It's interesting. And this like crunchy topping is really good. break from updating you from the kitchen for this vlog, but I did 2 more recipes. The first one were twin chocolate delights, and those ones were not a hit so much for me. I thought that, first of all, making them, they were really like sticking to the pan when I was trying to get them off. And then they weren't as sweet as I was like hoping, anticipating. So yeah, Leia and I weren't huge fans of those ones, but the boys really liked them. So we're gonna keep them so the boys can have those. And then I made snowballs, which were pretty yummy. Anything with powdered sugar, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. And they were really easy to make too, even though they kind of had that extra step of like having to put them in the powdered sugar twice and everything, because you had to put them in powdered sugar while they were still warm and then do it again once they cooled. It was totally worth doing those steps because, like I said, the powdered sugar, so good. So yeah, as far as ranking the recipes, because now I have made 4 things, I would definitely say still at number 1 are the peanut butter melts, because those were just awesome. They were super like soft and they just came out really good. Followed by the snowballs, really yummy. And then I would say the blueberry muffins, those were pretty good. Though my kids are not fans of blueberry muffins, but Austin and I like them. And then so far in 4th place is the twin chocolate delights. So all in all, it's going well. As far as the book is concerned, I'm at about the halfway point, and there's definitely like the crime has occurred. So Connie Mack, the celebrity chef, is dead. And Hannah, our main character, is trying to figure out what happened to her, because it happened in her bake shop, and she's trying, you know, she wants to get back into her bakery and figure out what happened and everything. And so it starts out, there's a lot of suspects on the list. It's a large pool because Connie Mack, like I've said, was not a very nice human, and so there were plenty of people that had plenty of motive to kill this woman, and but a couple have already been eliminated. So honestly, I can say at this point in the book, I have no idea who done it, but I am curious to find out for sure. And I just think these kinds of books are fun to read because you are talking about a murder, but it's done in such a lighthearted way that it just doesn't, it's not dark. It doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, we're like, normally, you know, you read a book about a murder and it's like the community would be devastated. Even if the person was a horrible person, it's like, it would still be very like shocking and this and that. And in this, like, people are just, they're pretty much unfazed. They're just like, oh, really? Oh, that happened? Like, no, like most people I think would be terrified if they're like, oh my gosh, someone was murdered in our little community. But because this is a cozy mystery, it's not that big a deal. And like I said, Hannah's main concern is like, I want to get back into my business so I can do my baking. So I need this to be cleared so that my place of work and my place of business is no longer a crime scene, and like that's her main concern. So it's fun, it's lighthearted, I like it. I definitely like those kinds of vibes. And it is fun trying to figure out what's going on with the mystery of it all. Like I said, I have no idea. So the next recipe that I'm actually gonna make for lunch, because I'll get to it like probably later today, is not a baked good. It is a grilled cream cheese sandwich, which it just never occurred to me to make a grilled cheese sandwich using cream cheese. So I'm kind of interested to try that, because I like cream cheese. I like grilled cheese. So I'm gonna give it a go when I get to that point. And we'll see how that pans out. And it recommends obviously to have it with like tomato soup, but I have to say that I'm not a huge fan of tomato soup. The only tomato soup I like, there's only 2 that I like. I like Panera's like creamy tomato soup, like when you go to Panera. But I'm not going to Panera to get that because, let's be real, Panera is ridiculously expensive, especially when it comes to soup and sandwiches. So yeah, I will not be going there for that. But canned wise, I do like Progresso's, it's like tomato basil, I think is what it's called. And that's the only like canned tomato soup I like. And basically because it's a very thinned out like marinara sauce pretty much. And so I think I'm gonna have that with my grilled cream cheese sandwich. And I'll report back how that is. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading and try to figure out who murdered Connie Mack. All right, so here we go. Here's my grilled cream cheese. The recipe said to use a whole block of cream cheese, and that just seemed like a lot of cream cheese, so I only used like half of it. And I mean, there's still quite a bit in there. And then I just used sourdough bread because I love sourdough. And I got my tomato soup here. So let's give it a taste test here. I'm gonna dip a little bit in my soup because that's what you do with grilled cheese. Let's see. I mean, it's good. It's kind of like a bagel, but on sourdough bread. I still think, though, if I wanted a grilled cheese, I would just use regular cheese. But I'm going to eat this because it is good. It is pretty good. Okay, so for the last recipe in my book, they're called multiple choice bar cookies. And what there is there's 4 different columns of things, and you have to pick one thing from each column, and that like builds your bar cookie, okay? So I would like your input on what we get. So column A, you have the choice of graham cracker crumbs, vanilla wafer crumbs, chocolate wafer crumbs, or animal cracker crumbs.
A graham cracker. Chocolate. Chocolate. Graham cracker crumbs. And Mom, I want the chocolate.
Chocolate wafer.
I want the graham cracker.
Okay, well, I will say, for the sake of making things a little easier, I have graham cracker crumbs already.
Alright, let's do graham cracker crumbs.
Alright. Hunter, you can pick the next one. How about that?
Yeah.
Leia picked graham cracker crumbs, so here we go. The next one, you have to pick one of these things. Chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, peanut butter chips, raisins, or M&Ms?
M&Ms.
M&Ms, okay. I don't have any of that stuff, so it doesn't matter. I gotta go to the store anyways. Okay, so M&Ms. So far we have graham cracker crumbs, M&Ms. Okay.
Okay.
Next one. Choices are, and I already know what you guys are gonna pick. Flaked coconut, Rice Krispies, frosted corn flakes.
Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies. And that's perfect because we already have some in the pantry. Okay, and then the last column, we have to choose what kind of nuts we're gonna put on it. So it's walnuts, pecans, peanuts, or cashews?
Cashews. Cashews.
Cashews? Okay, so that means the final bar is going to be graham cracker crumbs, M&Ms, Rice Krispies, and cashews. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Welcome, Mama.
Alright, so I have finished the final recipe, which is the multiple choice bar cookies, and my kids picked the ingredients. They went with graham cracker crumbs, Rice Krispies, cashews, and M&Ms. So I'm gonna give it a taste test and see how it tastes. Not bad. The Rice Krispies definitely give it like a unique texture, but it's not bad. I'll have to have them try them when they get home from school. Okay, so let's talk the recipes first. Let me do my final ranking of the recipes. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I haven't chatted with you guys since I did the white chocolate supremes and the short stack cookies. The white chocolate supremes were basically like white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, which I love. I thought that they turned out really good. The short stack cookies were a little bit weird. I had a hard time figuring out like the timing. I felt like I was burning them. I also was struggling with the size because I made them way too big at first. So they got really big, and then they weren't like, they were burning on the top, but they were like not cooked in the middle. It was very weird. They tasted good though. They basically tasted like a sugar cookie in the end. So, and then we just did the multiple choice bar cookies. So if I had to rank these, my number one, actually let's go backwards. Let's go number 8 up. My least favorite were definitely still the twin chocolate delights. They just were not sweet enough, and they were kind of annoying to cook, or bake, I should say. Followed by probably the short stack cookies. They, mostly because of the annoyance that they were just kind of annoying, because you had to like make the dough and then chill it, and then like handling the dough, it was sticky, it was weird. And then probably the grilled cream cheese sandwiches. It was okay. I don't think it was something I would ever make for myself again. It was just too much cream cheese in my opinion. And I like cream cheese, but it was a little bit much. And then next up would probably be the blueberry muffins, just because I like blueberry muffins. They were good, they were fine. I loved the added kind of twist to put blueberry pie filling in them, but you know, they were just blueberry muffins. They were great. So that means my top 3 were the white chocolate supremes, just because I love that cookie anyway, and I thought if they were really tasty. Followed by the little snowballs. Those were delish. The powdered sugar is magic, let me tell you. And then my favorite was the very first recipe I did, the peanut butter melts. They just were so good. They turned out so good. They were super soft and chewy. They were just awesome. I loved them. Now let's talk about the book, the whole reason that I did all these recipes. So in the end, I did not guess the killer, but when it was all revealed, it totally made sense. It made sense. Although there were a few things about it that were a little bit improbable. It's one of those books that you do have to just kind of like, just let it ride. Don't think about it too much. Just go with it, enjoy the story. And if you do that, it's like, okay, it was good. And that's kind of how this turned out for me. I thought that trying to solve the mystery was fun. I loved, obviously, the added element of the recipes, especially because she would be talking about, say, blueberry muffins in the text, and then you would get the recipe. And that was kind of fun. I just liked that. And you guys know how I felt about the recipes. So I liked Hannah as a character, and like just the whole like small town vibes I really liked. I really like the setting and all of the kind of like secondary characters that are in there that I'm sure will carry over into other books, because like she has a sister that seems to kind of be her partner in crime when she's like trying to solve these mysteries. Her sister's like right there with her. Her mom, and then there's a couple of men that are in the picture. She's sort of in a love triangle situation. That part I was like, man, about I didn't really care either way. But I got, you know, I'm sure some people really do like that. So the little like romance aspect. So yeah, I think overall this was fun. I liked it, and I would definitely consider reading more books in this series. Maybe try to do one like seasonally, because I'm sure she has like one that's set in the summertime, maybe one that's set in the fall, like around Halloween or like one of the other fall holidays or something. So I think that would be fun to like revisit these. Am I going to go like start from the beginning and read through the entire series? No. Number one, this is a long series. This book came out in 2002, and it's the third book in the series. And then she just had one come out, I think, was it this year or 2020? I can't remember, but they have been coming out at a steady clip for the past like 20 years. So I don't think I'm going to read all of them or even go back and start at the beginning. I'll just kind of read the ones that appeal to me and go from there. But as far as like trying out cozy mysteries, I think that I do like them. I think they're fun. They're definitely a good like palate cleanser, just something to read that's kind of lighthearted and you don't have to think too much about, and it's just kind of cozy and fun. And that's kind of the whole point of these books, I feel. So it definitely served its purpose. So overall, I'm gonna give this book 3 stars. And going forward, I think if I do seek out cozy mysteries, I will definitely try to find ones that include recipes, because I really liked that aspect. It was fun. Now, would I bake every single recipe in the book again? Probably not, because by the end, I was pretty much baked out. I was just like over it. So I probably wouldn't do that again. Maybe just pick like 2 or 3 recipes from the book and do it that way. But yeah, overall, this was a fun experiment. I really enjoyed myself. It was a nice thing to do, you know, in the cold January Michigan winter where there's nothing to do. This definitely gave me something to do, and it was fun. My family certainly enjoyed partaking in all the baked goods as well, and I passed them on to like family and friends that I saw throughout the past week. Just trying to unload cookies because I had so many. So yeah, please let me know down below if you have any recommendations for cozy mysteries. And it doesn't have to be necessarily cozy mysteries that deal with like baked goods or anything like that have recipes, but that would definitely be an added bonus if it had recipes in it. But like I said, not necessarily baked goods. Like I know Tia from Tia and All the Books had mentioned a cozy mystery series that she started fairly recently. It was sometime in 2022, and it was like grilled cheese, like a grilled cheese series, cozy mystery series. I can't remember what the book was called or anything, but to me that sounds, especially if it has recipes in it for different grilled cheeses, that sounds very nice. But yeah, if you have any other recommendations for cozy mysteries with like a recipe vibe, please let me know. And if you have read any more of these Joanne Fluke books, the Hannah Swenson mysteries, and you have one that you think I should really try, please let me know that as well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. It was a lot of fun, and I will talk with you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.